Hi everybody,
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Wandering Towers. This is designed by Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling, and it is published by Capstone Games.
I first had a chance to play this at the Gamma Expo, and it was late at night, I wasn't in the mood for a big game, and I saw the Capstone logo, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be like something like Ark Nova. I just don't have the brain power at the time right now to play some big Euro, which are some of my favorite kinds of games, right?
Yeah.
But still, it was late at night, I just wanted something simple and fun. Guess what?
What?
Wandering Towers is definitely in that category. This is a game that's just very silly, very tongue-in-cheek. You are moving these big towers themselves around, as long as the wizards themselves are moving around as well, getting buried inside the towers. It's just wild. It's a lot of fun. Let me give you a quick overview of how to play. All right, here's our setup for Wandering Towers. As you can see, we kind of have a ring of boards around here. We have our Raven's Keep over here. That is going to be our ultimate destination for all of our little meeples. So we're going to be playing as a two-player game, or kind of showing a two-player game. We're going to be the blue players. So basically what's going to happen on your turn is you are going to have a hand of 3 cards, and you're going to play 2 of them. It's going to move around some of your meeples and some of your towers. So cards are going to look something like this. This particular one says we're going to be moving towers. This particular one says we can move 1 tower 3 spots. All right, then we have another card. This one says we can move our meeple. 1 meeple, you can move 5 spots. We're also going to have some cards that are able to do one or the other. This one says you can either move a tower 4 spots or a person 2 spots. Every once in a while, you might come across a card that has dice on it. In that case, basically, you're going to choose either the tower or the person, and you're going to roll a d6 over here, and it's going to tell you how far you get to move. If there's only 1 dice, it's going to indicate that you don't get any rerolls. However, there might be some cards like this one that says it has 3 dice pictured. That means you're going to be able to roll a dice, and you have up to 2 rerolls. So let's say we put that card that allowed us to move a tower 3 spots. What's going to happen is we're going to choose a tower, we're going to take everything on it and above it, and we're going to move it that many spots. So in this case, we'd move this one here, 3 spots, and we're going to land on top of that other tower. Now we've covered up someone's meeple. When we do that, we're actually able to fill up one of our potions. These potions are also one of the game end conditions. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get all of our meeples into Raven's Keep, as well as all of our potions filled up. And you can fill a potion even if it was your own meeple that you covered up. And now on our turn, what we can do is we can move the tower again. This time, now that towers are stacked on top of each other, we can actually move 2 at a time. The more things that get stacked together, the harder it is to remember where your meeples are hiding. Once you've played 2 cards, you're going to draw back up to a hand of 3 cards, and then your turn is over. If you were able to get one of your meeples to move into the tower, into Raven's Keep, they would go inside there. And now what's going to happen is Raven's Keep itself is going to move to the next available spot with a raven symbol on the board. Some of the towers themselves even have that raven symbol. So remember, we're trying to get our meeples inside the tower as well as trying to cover up meeples in order to fill up our potions. But once we have some potions filled up, they can also use them as well. We have over here a couple of spells. These spells are basically ways that you can spend your potions in order to do special actions. This top one over here says we can spend 1 potion in order to move a tower 2 spots. This particular one says we can spend 2 potions in order to move a wizard 1 spot. That could be really handy for just something like this. Perhaps the card gave you some movement, but maybe not quite enough to get you inside of Raven's Keep. You only play with 2 of those spells per game, but there are a whole lot to choose from. There's 2 they recommend to start with, but then there's a whole bunch of different ones that have all different effects. Some of them are pretty powerful and pretty cool. So there's a little bit of a memory aspect as you're trying to remember where all of your different meeples are hiding underneath all of these different towers. There's also a race element as you try to race to get all of your meeples inside Raven's Keep. And again, you want to make it harder for your opponents by covering up their opponents, and at the same time, allows you to fill up some of your potions. Once one player has filled up all of their potions and has all of their meeples inside of Raven's Keep, the game ends, or at least that triggers the end of the game. We will finish that round so everyone has the same number of turns, and at that point, if more than one person has completed both objectives, then it goes to whoever has more unspent potions, meaning potions that are filled up but have not yet been used on a spell. If there's still a tie, all tied players are considered winners.
When Ryan first taught me this game, I was kind of confused. I was like, you just play a card, and you play a card, that's it? Like, You move this or that, and that's it. And that totally is. That's it. That's the game right there. And I was like, this just seems too easy. It doesn't seem like there's game here. There is game here. I assure you there is game here. And it is hilarious because you spend so much time focusing on getting this one guy into the tower. By the time you do it, you don't know where any of your other guys are at that time. You're trying to remember, but everything's moved. They were under that tower, but what level under that tower, you don't really remember because you moved it, because you had to get your guy somewhere, and you also needed a potion, so you had to cover up that other guy, and now you don't remember everything. And if there's even more rules to this game, I don't think I could do it. It needed to be as simple as it was, and it worked.
I liked how you were actually playing 2 cards on your turn because you can set up some pretty cool combos. Or you just do 2 different things and kind of divide your actions up. So maybe with one of your actions, you are going to target covering up one of your opponent's pieces, so that way you can get one of your potions filled up. Maybe with the other piece, you're going to get somebody in. Or maybe you're going to use 2 cards together to complete, move one guy twice in order to get them into the Raven's Keep. So I liked how you had 2 choices, 2 cards that you were going to play, and kind of, change the state of the board. And you're really literally just changing the board around, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. So I think it was great to have 2 cards that you were able to play to make that happen.
I also thought it was really neat that you needed the potions. I thought it was perfect because if you didn't need the potions, you would just focus on getting your guys in the tower and that'd be kind of boring. But the fact that you actually need to cover up other people, that you have to fulfill these potions in order to win the game, loved it. I like that they gave you that it made it more chaotic on the board in the best possible way, because not only do you need that, but all the other players also need that for themselves. So you're moving and you're covering things because you want to win.
And also on top of that, then they gave the potion meaning by being able to use those spells. You could spend your filled potions in order to make these spells happen. And there's 2 spells they recommend for the first time you're playing, basically.
Yeah.
And those are perfect. One of them moves a wizard around. One of them moves a tower around. But then once you are familiar with the game, you can shuffle them up and choose, or you can just kind of just pick which ones you want to use. And there are lots and lots of variety. There's even some mini expansions that add even more variety into what your different spells can be, and some of them have some really hilarious effects. So I like it, but again, you're kind of limited by 6. You have 6 potions in a 2-player game at least, and less in more players. But I like that you couldn't just keep on doing the same spells over and over again. You had to spend them, and they were gone forever. So having those spells added a little extra spice on top of the moving around.
This game overall, it was fun to play, it was fun on the table, it was fun to look at, and it was great at 2-player, but the higher player count gives it like a little bit more chaotic energy in a good way. So you can totally play 2-player, totally works. I didn't have any issues with that. It's just higher player, it's like hilarious. It's even like better. 2-player's good, more player better.
I agree. I thought it was delightful. I thought it was charming. The chaotic energy you mentioned is just a lot of fun. Like, it gives you almost like the sense of a party game, like the atmosphere and the energy of a party game, while still not being a party game mechanics. You're still actually trying to win. You're still trying to play the game and doing all those things. But the energy and everyone laughing and like groaning and all that stuff matches what you'd hear from when you're playing a party game. So for that reason, this was a big hit for me. Late nights, something to close the night out with without being a party game. It's still a real game. I really enjoyed Wandering Towers.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
You guys, thanks so much for watching. This game was provided to us by a publisher in exchange for a fair and honest review.
And if you want to see more stuff, check out over here to see something we think you might like.
And over here, we think that YouTube has picked out a great video for you you're going to love. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.